Welcome to Japan, a land where ancient traditions blend seamlessly with modern innovation. It's a place of incredible beauty and unique customs. Understanding these customs is key to a truly enriching experience. It helps you navigate daily life with respect and confidence. This video explores 15 specific cultural taboos. Knowing these can help you avoid misunderstandings and show genuine respect for Japanese culture. While not a taboo for visitors, it's a significant societal issue. Japan has faced the serious problem of karoshi, or death from overwork. This extreme work pressure has tragically contributed to high suicide rates. It's a somber reality behind the country's diligent work ethic. The government has implemented measures to combat this, including restrictions on overtime work. It's an ongoing effort to protect employee well-being. For visitors from many countries, this is surprising. Tipping is generally considered unnecessary and can even be seen as rude in Japan. Excellent service is simply expected as part of the standard. There's no need for extra payment to acknowledge good performance. Offering a tip might imply that you think the service was somehow lacking and needed extra incentive. It can cause discomfort. Instead of money, a small, thoughtful gift, like a piece of origami or a souvenir from your home country, is a wonderful way to show sincere gratitude. Historically, tattoos have carried a strong stigma in Japan. They were often associated with the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia. This association led to restrictions in many public places. You might find entry denied at hot springs, gyms, swimming pools, and even some beaches if your tattoos are visible. The historical context is fascinating. In the Edo period, tattoos were used as a form of punishment for criminals, marking them permanently. Later, some groups like yujo prostitutes used tattoos to show dedication to their partners, sometimes tattooing their names. Tattoos were actually illegal in Japan for a long period, only becoming legal again in 1948. This history contributes to the lingering stigma. If you have tattoos, it's highly recommended to cover them when in public spaces, especially at traditional establishments like onsen. Attitudes are slowly changing, particularly among younger generations and in urban areas. However, the traditional view still prevails in many places. This might seem counterintuitive based on Western etiquette. On public transport, giving up your seat for an elderly person isn't always expected or even welcomed. One reason cited is an emphasis on equality within society. Singling someone out, even for a kind gesture, can feel like unnecessary differentiation. Priority seating areas are clearly designated for those who need them most: the elderly, disabled, pregnant women, and those with infants. Offering your seat outside of these areas can sometimes make the other person uncomfortable, as if you are highlighting their age or perceived weakness. If you feel strongly about offering your seat, try to do so subtly. Stand up and move away from the seat without making a fuss or directly addressing the person. Certain numbers are considered unlucky in Japan due to wordplay. It's a form of linguistic superstition. Number 4, pronounced shi, si, sounds exactly like the word for death, si. This makes it highly avoided. This avoidance affects building design. Many buildings lack a 4th floor. Floors might be labeled 3A, 3S, or T instead of 4. Hotel room numbering also reflects this. You might find hotels skipping room numbers ending in 4. The number 9, pronounced ku, sounds like the word for suffering or agony, kurushimi. It's also considered unlucky. Because of this, hotels and hospitals often avoid room numbers like 9 or 49, which combines both unlucky sounds. Choosing a gift requires careful consideration in Japan. Avoid items related to the taboo numbers 4 and 9. Do not give combs, kushi. The word sounds like a combination of suffering, ku, and death, shi, making it a highly inappropriate gift. Avoid images or figurines of foxes. While sometimes seen as messengers, they are also symbols of greed, cunning, and trickery in folklore. Glass items are generally avoided as gifts. They are fragile, and breaking something is considered bad luck, especially for relationships. Sharp objects like knives or scissors are also taboo. They symbolize cutting off relationships or ties. Avoid giving chrysanthemums or camellias. These flowers are traditionally associated with funerals and mourning. While common in many parts of the world, Sitting with your legs crossed is considered impolite in Japan, especially in formal settings or when facing someone. It can be perceived as too casual, relaxed, or even provocative. It might make others feel uncomfortable. Historically, this posture was sometimes associated with the way prostitutes sat. This historical link contributes to its negative perception. In formal situations, the preferred sitting style is seiza, kneeling with your weight on your heels. For less formal settings, sitting with legs tucked to the side is acceptable. This is a controversial and debated taboo. Historically, women have been banned from certain sacred sites and rituals. Prominent example is Mount Omen, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a sacred mountain for Shugendo, a spiritual practice, and women are traditionally not allowed to ascend it. The reason given is often to maintain the purity and sacred atmosphere of the site, which is linked to ascetic practices. Another example is Okinoshima Island, also a World Heritage Site. Access is extremely restricted, and only men are traditionally allowed to visit. The rules for visiting Okinoshima are strict. Only men, they must cleanse themselves naked in the sea upon arrival, and they cannot take anything, not even a blade of grass, off the island. Other historical restrictions included women being banned from sumo rings, and a traditional waiting period for women before remarrying. Smoking rules have become much stricter in Japan in recent years. Since 2018, smoking is restricted in many public outdoor areas. These laws were implemented to reduce passive smoking and improve public health. Fines can be issued for violations. Both individuals smoking in prohibited areas and establishments failing to enforce rules can face penalties. Designated outdoor smoking areas exist, often marked by signs or enclosed booths. You must use these areas. Smoking is still allowed in some smaller restaurants and bars, which remains a point of dissatisfaction for many non-smoking Japanese citizens. Japanese culture places a high value on personal space. Unnecessary physical contact is generally avoided. Touching someone, even a friendly pat on the back or a handshake, is not as common or encouraged as in some Western cultures. Bowing is the primary and most important sign of respect and greeting. It replaces the need for physical contact like handshakes in many situations. Public displays of affection are also typically managed and restrained. Kissing or hugging openly in public is uncommon and can be seen as inappropriate. This is one of the most well-known Japanese customs. It is a strict rule to remove your shoes or outdoor slippers at the entrance of homes, traditional inns, ryokan, temples, and some restaurants. You will typically switch to indoor slippers provided at the entrance, or walk barefoot or in socks. This practice is deeply rooted in cleanliness. It prevents dirt and grime from outside from being tracked into living spaces, which are often floored with tatami mats. It also shows respect for the homeowner's private space and their efforts to keep it clean and comfortable. Eating or drinking while walking down the street is considered unusual and impolite in Japan. It can be seen as messy and potentially disturbing to others. The smell of food or the sounds of chewing might bother passers-by. You might receive unfriendly looks or even be politely, or not so politely, scolded by older individuals if you do this. It's best to find a bench, a park, or a designated eating area to enjoy your food or drink. This is a very specific and strong taboo related to funeral rituals. Passing food directly from one pair of chopsticks to another is strictly forbidden. This action is performed only during Japanese funeral ceremonies when the bones of the deceased are passed between family members using large chopsticks before being placed in an urn. Using chopsticks to stick them vertically into a bowl of rice is also forbidden. This resembles the way incense sticks are placed upright in ash as an offering to the deceased. When sharing food, use serving chopsticks if available, or place the food onto a small plate before the other person picks it up with their own chopsticks. Whistling, especially at night, is often considered taboo in Japan, particularly for children. Belief is linked to old folklore. One superstition says that whistling at night can attract snakes. Another belief is that it can attract demons or spirits. In some areas, it's thought to attract thieves or unwanted attention. While perhaps not strictly enforced for adults, it's a cultural superstition that many Japanese people still acknowledge and avoid. Navigating cultural nuances is part of the adventure of traveling. Understanding and respecting these Japanese taboos isn't about following rigid rules blindly. It's about showing consideration for the local culture and people. It leads to a more positive, respectful, and truly enriching travel experience for everyone involved.